LinkedIn Lives are not scary if you do them right. Hey, welcome! In this series, I'm sharing lessons about marketing and sales and go-to-market, but also about things I haven't still figured out myself yet. So you should really see me as your peer in trying to discover things together, and not really as your know-it-all guru. So let's dive in. So today I'm talking about LinkedIn Lives. They have been pretty popular in 2023, 2024 as well, and I see no reason why to ignore them in 2025. Why are LinkedIn Lives so effective? It's actually for three main reasons. Of course, it's a video, it's a streaming tool, and you know that streaming has impact. You can actually almost speak to the person, you can ask questions in real life, you can build a community, you can use it for customer service, for sales, for marketing, for HR. But why I like it so much as an engagement tool is, first of all, you can invite a lot of people. So if you now create a LinkedIn Live event, you set it for in 3 weeks. So you have 3 weeks of preparing your LinkedIn Live. So what you will do as an organizer, you have the possibility to invite approximately 1,000 people per week. That's not a set number because LinkedIn doesn't really publish that as a set number, but it's always a little bit around that. So what you will do is you will start off with your target audience, the people that really need to see this webinar or this LinkedIn Live. And then the next week, you can invite another 1,000 people. So you could, for example, invite that circle around them, or invite your close friends as well to bump up that number. And then in the third week, you can do another round of invites with the circle around that. And the more people who accept your invites, the more people you can invite again. So if you do a pretty fast calculation, you invite 3,000 people, you only need 10%, for example, to attend. You already have 300 people watching your LinkedIn Live. So that is a really big benefit to begin with. One really big benefit as well that I've seen from my experience from the LinkedIn Lives that I did in the past years, I think last year I did about 5, is you have a build-up phase, so the invites that I just talked about. But as the LinkedIn Live is going on, let's say it's taking, for example, an hour, it will appear in all the feeds that from the people that are attending. So as people as people ask questions, as people engage, it has like a snowball effect on LinkedIn. It will really rapidly increase viewers and additional people that haven't seen it before. So from my experience, for example, what could happen is I invited 3,000 people. Let's say 600 people signed up, 300 are attending, but during the live stream, another 100 of people that weren't aware of this LinkedIn Live are joining in. So you end up with 400 people attending your LinkedIn Live, for example. That is the one. And also a very recent update is that since 2024, LinkedIn has created the possibility to sponsor LinkedIn Lives. So you can sponsor your event pre-live. You can set up ads for during the live so that these are only going on for an hour. Or you can even do an after sale, so you can make sure that the recording will be sent to the people you're targeting to. Because that's the good thing about a LinkedIn Live. When the live is over, the LinkedIn Live will always be available on demand on LinkedIn. So it will always still live there. It won't disappear like an external webinar, for example. So I've now told you about the benefits, but let's say you want to make a LinkedIn Live right now. Apart from the technicalities and the systematic approaches that I'm just gonna explain you right now, it's very important to have a concept, to have an idea of what you're going to talk about. It doesn't always work, for example, to do a demo right away about your product. People are not really ready for that. You want to have panel discussions. You want to have interviews. You want to have really conversations that are top of funnel, that people can just chime in with a cup of coffee, for example. You don't want to get too specific right away, maybe in the later stages when you've done more LinkedIn Lives, but you want to have a general conversation and people can walk in and walk out again and actually enjoy the conversation. And when you have established that, you need 3 main pieces to create the LinkedIn Live event on LinkedIn. You need a good title. You need a very good clickbait title. So let's say, for example, you could say Gen AI in construction, or Gen AI in B2B sales, or you could say personalization in the coaching industry. Things that people really want to click on, for example. When you have that, you need a banner. Usually in this banner, you have the title again, and you have the speakers that are going to be speaking at the event. And lastly, you need a description. And this description serves as a pitch. So you have the title, you have the banner that triggered people click on the event, and in the description, you convince them to actually click attend and leave their results and make sure that they put it in their calendar, for example. Okay, now great. Now you're almost there. So the event is live. Now what you need to do is you need to actually make sure that your streaming tool is linked. There's a couple of streaming tools on the markets that you can link to a LinkedIn Live. You could, for example, use a tool like Vidyard, Socialive, or Transistor, and make sure that your live is set up in the right way. And when you have that, you're ready to go. You now know the benefits of a LinkedIn Live, you know how to set it up, and you know what tool to use. And now, of course, you need to prepare a script and a good way of filming the live stream, and have a good host as well. If you need more information about LinkedIn Live or you have questions about it, let me know in the comments and I'll get back to you there as well. Thank you for watching.